Hey guys, it's S. Welcome back to another episode of Media Morals.
Hello, Internet. I'm M.
And I'm S.
And welcome to Media Morals.
The book I read was Sourdough. It's by Robin Sloan. And my first impression of this book, which my other friend who read it agrees with, is that it's just so whack conceptually. If you read Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, it's by the same author, and both these books have very whack concepts, but once you get past that, it's actually a pretty interesting read. And so this book centers around a girl named Lois, or Louise, not really sure how to pronounce it, but I YouTubed it and the person said Lois, so I'm just gonna go with that, even though I've been saying Louise in my head the whole book. Anyway, she graduated college and she works in San Francisco at a coding company. So she's a coder, and the company has pretty good pay. She settled into this routine that's very monotone and very workaholic. All she does is work. All her coworkers who are constantly working, so that's what she feels like she has to do as well. This culture kind of impacts all aspects of her life. So her food is very monotone. There's not really much enjoyment. And one evening she finds this ad for this restaurant and she gives it a try and she instantly falls in love. And so she starts to order this food every evening. A real big selling point of the food is the sourdough. Their sourdough is amazing. But unfortunately, this company moves away. But before they do, they stop by her place and they're like, hey, here's some sourdough starter. We'll teach you how to make it. And so she learns how to make it, and it's really delicious. But there's something weird about it. They have these faces on it, and basically it's because of the starter. The starter is from a different culture, and it's very weird in the sense that it sings at night and it requires special attention, and when it makes a sourdough there's a weird face on it. And so this is the part of the story where it's kind of the whack part, and basically she finds her happiness making sourdough bread. That's kind of the moral I want to talk about in this video. One day she brings in her sourdough to her company, and eventually she actually starts selling the sourdough at this stand. While she's baking and producing all the sourdough, she has a moment and she's like, I feel happy, which is different. Here, I'll find the moment. At first, I theorized it was something about the rhythm of baking, the quick bursts of attention alternating with mandatory pauses, but then I decided it was probably something simpler. I was happy. And so working at this coding company has not really brought her any happiness, more of just a stable and steady income. And so eventually she does decide to quit her coding job and starts baking at the market. Why is it now dark outside? What happened? Well, thanks for asking. My camera shut off because the storage was full, so I tried to download the video onto my laptop, but it wouldn't play when I downloaded it, so I was like, okay, maybe it just needs time. So I sat there for over an hour and it still wouldn't load, so finally I just shut off my laptop after deleting a bunch of other videos thinking it was a storage issue, and I turned it back on and suddenly it worked. So, we're back! Okay, anyway, what was I saying? This book is just about finding what makes you happy and also finding something that's yours and feeling like you earn it and you work for it. Because she was saying how she got her first paycheck after doing the sourdough business, and she said that even though it's only a tenth of her coding paycheck, she felt like she really earned it and that she deserved it more, kind of. And so I think it's really important you find something that really resonates with you and fulfills your sense of purpose. Clearly it's impossible to avoid corona, but I think just being locked inside, a lot of people say you have a lot of extra time. I don't feel that. This video is late and I should have had all the time in the world. But anyway, if you do have a lot of time, or if you just have more time to kind of contemplate in general, I think this is a great question to ask yourself. What makes you happy and what can you turn into a profession? And I know there's the circle thing where it's happy, money, good in the world, and if you can meet in the middle, then that's the perfect job for you. But I know it's kind of impossible to do, so I think just thinking about what really gives you a sense of fulfillment in life and just in general. And you can do this for your hobbies. Is this hobby making me actually happy? Am I just doing it for college apps or something? And if you are, then it's probably something you should drop, unless it's community service or something that's good for others. This is crazy to say. Videos are coming to a close, and it's definitely not the way we expected it to. Everyone thought 2020 was going to be a fresh start to a decade, to the year, and even though it's definitely not turning out that way, I think it's important to try to not be overwhelmed by everything and take it day by day. Definitely take precautions to keep yourself and your family and your friends safe, but also do fun things to keep yourself sane. Make sure to get fresh air. I haven't gone out in a few days. It's kind of bad. I will see you guys in 2 weeks for my last video. Bye, internet! Okay, so I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw someone's birthday, and I was like, what day is it even? And then I realized, these past few days, I already forget like what day it is, what day of the week it is, and so I just wanted to share some general tips I'm sure you guys probably know, but in case you don't, that might help you cope with it a little better. And these are tips from my friends, myself, what I've read on the internet, and the ones that I think are the most important. So